Hello everyone, welcome to Capello Art School. And today we are learning watercolor. So we are learning a bird painting. Can anyone guess which is the smallest bird in the world? Yes, tell me now. Which is the smallest bird? Okay, Venkata knows. Just write it down in the chat. Mridula, it's not sparrow. Any other guess? Hummingbird, yes, correct. Hummingbird. So we are gonna paint hummingbird today. Are you all excited? Yes, everyone likes bird painting. How many of you like to paint a bird? Everyone? So shall we begin the class? Are you all ready? Yes? Yeah, very good. So take a good paper, 200 GSM and above, because we're using watercolors again. So it is important to use a quality paper for watercolor and all your art stuffs, all the materials, brushes, paints, pencil, eraser, scale, etc. Okay, we'll start with the shape, some shapes, basic shapes that will help us to draw a bird, hummingbird. First of all, you don't have to mask your sheet using masking tape. It's not required for this class. So I'll start with an shape, okay, a particular shape that is oval. I'll start with an oval shape. So first I'm going to draw head of hummingbird. Okay, I'll place head on the top, that is on the rightmost part of the sheet, and draw one circle. First, make sure your sketches are light. That's why use H pencils or 2B pencils. Less than 2B, not more than 2B pencils. Make sure you're using less than 2B pencils. So I'll place head of the sparrow first. Draw oval. If it is not visible, I'll darken this for you. But make sure all your sketches are very light. This is just an outline, but later we are going to give it a proper shape. And make sure your sketches are proportionate to each other. All the heads and the body or the wings are proportional. That's why make sure you draw not too small, not too big, but a medium size bird. And next, body. So after drawing an oval for the head, next for the body, we'll draw elongated oval. That is, I'll show you starting from here. Draw one more oval, which is very narrow. You'll have to give proper shape for the oval later, just for the understanding where the head is placed and where the body is placed, also the wings. Okay. Now, without wasting time on this oval, we'll give a proper shape for this. Look at this carefully. The head is always smaller than the body. So I'm going to start with the light shaded pencil. this H pencil. Later I'll darken it. And always tell me the structure of the beak of hummingbird. It will be very long, lengthy beak. It has elongated, lengthy beak, sharp pointed beak. So I'm going to make sharp pointed beak, which is very lengthy. Okay. If it's not seen, I can darken it later, but now just check with it whether it is visible for you, and add a small, the narrow, thin beak, elongated beak, and then giving proper shape for the head of the bird. Starting from here, I will give a proper shape. Upper part of the head, and the lower part comes a bit of curve in the starting, and then making it bulged. The stomach has to be bulged in the bottom. If you are using Apsara, Dakshit, Dikshit, Dikshit, okay, try to get H pencils from next onwards. Have you all completed till here? Are you able to get the shape of the head? Venkata says no. Okay, it's Dikshit. What happened, Dikshit? Simple, just draw an oval first and then outline it properly. Bring it into proper shape of the bird, head of the bird. It should be bulged at the top, and opposite to it, it should be bulged at the bottom when it comes to stomach. Here it's on the upper side, here it's in the bottom side bulged. Try until you get a proper shape. Later, coming to the wings. So the one wing, first I'll draw one and later next one. Starting from this point, now again outline the wing. Later feathering details will give later. So first outlining this feather, where the feathers has to be placed, will mark it out first. And next feather. So this is one, and the next one behind the first one. Now I'll darken it. So I started wings from this part and then made a little bending in here. Start drawing curve line, then bring it down and giving a proper shape later. And one more wing, which is behind the first one. Take it up. Okay, one more wing. And now giving a proper feathers to it. Second one. Give so many feathers from can give small, starting from the bigger size till the small feathers. You can keep adding more and more. Now erase all the extra lines, extra oval lines which we drew before starting the shaping of bird. Erase all those oval extra lines. And here you join this to the end, the tail of the bird. And draw more feathers for the tail. Now you make sure all the parts of the birds are proportionate. If you feel like your wings are too big, cut it out. If you think your head is too small, make it bigger. You can leave it as it is. You don't have to draw detailed feathers because we'll be adding detailing during painting. That's all. Are you all able to see the pencil sketch, or shall I darken this? We don't have to detail out the feathers, okay, because we can do it using watercolors. And once you complete your sketching part, be ready with all the colors that you have, brushes, palette, water container. Any doubts, Shrestha? Do you have any doubts? Okay, what it is?
Ma'am, could you show how to do that first wing again? I was not able to get it.
The first, which, the head?
No, ma'am, the wings.
Okay. So you have a beak, then head, the body, and the tail part. This. Okay, for the wings, start it from the middle of the stomach, from the here. So you divide this like this, divide your bird into four parts very lightly and start it from the slightly above from the horizontal center line. So if this is your center, start little above the center line. So maybe from here, this point, you start first wing and take it towards the top. So make a bend here and then again take it towards upside and then bring it down And again, you later add this detailing, but just make an outline like this and join it here. And for the second one, from here itself, behind this first feather, from here you start one more, bring it up, and then bend it like this, and then join it here. That's all. And now to add detailing one by one, this is the first feather and second feather, third, fourth. This can be done using watercolor itself. More feathers. And for the same here, first feather, second, third, and few small and few big feathers, etc.
Okay,
Clear?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Shall we start the painting? See, the tail of the hummingbird may not have to be so much big. Make it small, not too small, not too big, medium size. If you draw a big, long tail, it will become like a kingfisher. So keep it small. So here, coloring is simple. Layer after we are working layer after layer of different colors. For the eye, you can just mark. I'll mark a circle for an eye. Okay, this is the circle that I have marked for an eye of the hummingbird. And also make sure all your sketching part is very light. So I'm going to erase few darker lines to make it light. Fine. So you don't have to add legs right now. At the end, let's see, we'll add directly just to small two lines using brush. And how to sketch it right now. Let's start painting. Keep all your colors ready. And let's start with the green color. Let's start from the head. Hope you all have pointed size brush. Since this bird is a little more into detailing work, we'll have to use point brushes. Are you able to hear me? Okay. So the green, dark green as well as sap green, both the greens. So mostly we're using all the colors. That's why keep all the colors ready. So I have taken this medium size brush first, this size. I'm going to start with the head part using dark green in a very light shade. Very light shade of dark green for the head. This is the first layer. Very light, right? So first layer has to be very light of dark green. And don't wait for the paint to dry. Keep adding colors when it is wet. Hmm, okay. And the next colors I'll take sap green, and again around the eyes I'll start adding sap green. and spread the colors. And again, the third, I'll add red to the same color, mix it. And finally, I'll add orange and leave it as it is. Below the neck, it is always orange color. Okay, so we'll have to darken the shade again. All the shade we need to repaint it. This is just a first layer. And please use very less paint and more water for light colors. Also keep one cloth or tissue with you to remove if the water is too much in your sheet or brush. Okay, make use of all this cloth and papers to remove the excessive water. Next, we'll first finish all the light layers everywhere. Do not add too much of paint in the beginning itself. Add more water, little paint, and take out the water from the brush. For the wings, we'll add gray. So to get a gray color, black, please do not use white here. White we only use for acrylics, but for watercolor, only the water acts as a white color here. So here I'm having black, adding water to it will make it more lighter. So I have black and I'll add white to the same, not white, blue and black. And now I have not added any white to it. Just water makes my paint lighter and lighter. And then draw some strokes on the feathers like this. At the same time, add sap green to the base of the wing. Spread it only for the base. Later, you just spread. Same thing for the other wing. We'll mix black and blue, add water, make it light, and wet. Now here you will use wet on wet technique. That is when the wings where we applied gray and blue, gray, black with blue, which gives us light gray color, gray shade. Now I'm going to mix sap green along with this. Also a little bit of yellow color. For the second wing, you add little bit of yellow color and again spread this yellow and green, mixture of yellow and green all over the body of the hummingbird. And when it comes to the lower part of the stomach, you add more, keep adding more yellow color. And now you can create patchworks of yellow color. Tap yellow color for the base, the lower part of the stomach. Next, as I have told, don't wait the paint to dry. Keep adding brown color upon this yellow color. Keep spreading. Just add dots of brown color. That's all. It will spread itself if you keep doing the dots. So it will be mess of colors inside the kingfisher that we have painted today. We are painting today. For the base, just add brown. And then very light. The paint, these are the first layer. It has to be very light. Also add this orange here and there. Touch of orange. I'll stop it here. All the first layer has been done. work with wet on wet technique. Okay, please work with wet on wet technique when you paint body, especially. Shall we proceed? Just show me, everyone, show it to the screen. 1 second, 1 second. Yes, I'll call one by one. Swasti, can you bring it little closer? So the patches that you have given, you can extend up till the wings, till this part, okay? Very light patches, not too dark, very lightly you can increase those. And then Venkata, very nice, very good work. Show me closer. Very nice. What is this you have left? You're still working on it. This space. Okay, keep keep painting. Sejal Yatharth. Okay, so this part below the stomach, you're still working, I guess. Yes, yes, keep working. Anybody else wants to show their work? I think we are good to go further. So now you take pointed brush, mini brush. Take point 3, point 4 and below. Now coming into a little detailing. Again, let's start with the beak. Let's finalize the beak painting. For the beak, you take this black color. Again, more of black, a little bit of blue as well. So why we are using this blue along with black is that the black is always like harsh to eyes. Like it will be highlighting among all the colors. But to make it look merging or to make it look beautiful among all the colors, we are using a little bit of blue to it to make it look pleasing instead of highlighting any one part to make it look beautiful. So adding blue to black and then so this color will be little bit thicker because we are doing a darker shade painting, second layer. So I'll make the dark beak one side dark and one side lighter. So you will have to divide the beak into two parts where one side has to be dark and the other side has to be light. Please make sure you draw the straight line, not curved lines for the beak. Have you observed the beak of the bird? Have you ever seen curvy beak? No, right? It has to be very straight. Parrot, yes, I agree. It has a curvy beak, but it's a different type of curve. But here we are working on straight line. Have you ever seen bending beaks in hummingbird? No, right? So very lightly you outline it. If you find really difficult, just take a pen and then draw outline of the beak, and then later you can darken this. Now make lower part of the hummingbird dark. I'll take black along with orange color. Mix orange and black together and start painting second layer, which is darker than the first. Outline it first, later. Now you take pure orange and start coloring from the first layer where we have ended it. Again, started from there itself. Now for this orange, add little bit of yellow shade. Then keep dragging colors towards upside. We are adding all the detailing parts for the hummingbird. And now, all after orange, take a little bit of brown. We will have to take all the colors. Might get little confused if it's too much for you. Just add one or two colors and keep adding details. All this patchy works. Small lines or dots. So now take red, keep adding this red layer. Mix red and orange. Coming to sap green again. On the other hand side, start painting sap green. And don't, as I have told you, don't have to wait for the paint to dry. Keep working when it is wet itself. Black and sap green. For the head, outline it first and then fill it with the other colors. Below the eyes, you make it dark using sap green and black. And that's all. End it like this. Just leave it as it is. Spread the colors and then end it here. I think it's good to go with the third layer when it is wet. So again, I'll take black and adding a little more detail where the beak and the head connects. Make it little darker there. Then add brown. You can add dark green here and there, no problem. Add whatever color you want, but make sure it looks pleasing, looks like a bird. That's all. Mixture of many colors you can find here. Okay, this much part is done. We'll move on to the wings and the same color for the wings. What are all the colors? Blue and black. So one side of the feather has to be light and the other side has to be dark. Now jumping into the detailing part of the feather. Fine, that's all the detailing part of first feather. And the next one, again add black, a little bit brown this time, and also a pinch of blue color. Brown, blue, and black. And add lines. So for the feathers, you only have to add the lines. So here you can add purple color as well. just 2 or 3 lines of purple color. Taking black and again detailing little bit in more depth for the second feather. Can also add the dry strokes of dry brush. If your brush is dry and apply that strokes, you will able to find that rough edges. Okay, rough finish, not these are the smooth finishes. So I'll zoom for you. So these patches are called rough finishes. That is when your brush is too dry and you drag it, you will get that rough finishing. And again, continuing with the sap green color and dark green color, start again from the base of the feather. For the tail feathers, you add some brown with black color and drag some lines, few lines, and keep extending those lines broader in the end, and when it comes upwards becomes smaller and smaller. Add few more, just a brown feathers, and if you are just black in color, you can be blue. Add thickness for all the feathers now. Now you make use of just dark green and pull few colors. You can add brown here and there, lines of brown color. But when feather, make sure there is white line as well as dark lines. Add orange. Over the black color, you add orange. Now again start with the patchy works for the stomach. Because if you have observed the stomach, the lower part of the stomach of birds, any birds, it will have very small feathers, not like unlike this wing, which has very big elongated feathers. But below the stomach, there'll be soft, small feathers. You can make those detailing using this patches. Just tap your brush on the paper using different colors. Brown with black is the main color. You can add orange. Also, you can make patches of green. So we almost completed the last part is an eye. Okay. So if you find it difficult to directly apply it using brush for an eye, the circular thing for an eye circle, you can use gel pen or blacking pen or a marker, but it has to be a proper circle. Adding final touch to the feathers using black, making it one side dark. I'll do it this circle using marker. Final thing which will add realistic to an eye is a dot of white. Okay, so now I'm gonna add white color, or if you have white pen, you can also use that white pen. Here I'll draw a dot of white. Okay, we are done with the kingfisher. Sorry, not kingfisher. Hummingbird here. If you want to add background, you can also add a background by splashing some colors or spraying colors using toothbrush. If you remember long back, I have taught how to add how to spray paint using brush. You remember, if anybody from here has attended that class, have taught you to attend how to paint using toothbrush, that is spraying of colors. The Swasti has attended it. Very nice. So shall we end it here or also paint the background right now? I think spray will work really well with this. But when you're using spray, keep in mind, please use one more sheet to cover the whole bird, and later you spray the colors, not just take some random color and spray it over the bird. It doesn't work like that. Keep on paper and later hide all this bird, feathers, beak, body parts, head, everything, and then spray using toothbrush. If I have, if okay, fine, then I'll search for some toothbrush. I have got this old toothbrush, which is no longer in use. So I'll use this for my painting. Which color would suit for this bird? Any guess? What do you want? Which color do you want to use? Or which color would match for the background? What do you suggest? Which color do you suggest? Orange, yeah. How about blue, light blue? Yes, Venkata. You can use blue color. Orange is also fine, no problem. If you want to add orange background, go for it. I'll try blue. Okay, let me see. Or purple. How about purple? Will it suit? Yeah, okay. We'll add both blue and purple. What do you say? Keep blue and purple color in a large amount, quite a large amount, and it has to be very watery. So I'm gonna cover all my bird with some paper, and then now I'll start spraying colors. I'm using blue color right now. Add some very really big dots and small spray. And now you take your brush and spread all these bigger dots or drops and spread it. And take larger size brush. Let the smallest dots be just as it is. Add light colors for the background. You can also do this. Just tap the brush. Please don't create a mess. Now you add little red to the same blue color. It will turn out to be a purple. Is this fine? Okay. So if anyone wants to show their work, can show it, or else I'll end the meeting. Kimjadullah, I'll highlight you. Can you bring it little closer, Mridula? The beak looks fine. And the video is little blurred, but it's fine. Okay. So you can still add patches of these browns, I guess, here. Browns and orange. Okay. And then background. Add patch again, patches of colors for the background. Some dark, some side it will be light, and some other you can use brush. Do you have brush? I mean toothbrush. Okay, you can just add, try those technique, keep dots, and yeah, then the shape of the bird is really good, and the wings, size of the wings could be little bigger, but it's fine. Okay, that's all. And rest everything is really good, Ridilla. Very nice work. Very nice. Venkata. Okay, where was that flower?
What?
Is that a water or a flower?
It's a flower. And this
Okay,
is the bird.
very nice, very creative, Venkata. Where did it come from? From, I mean, the flower. Which is your favorite flower, Venkata?
Blue bonnet.
Okay. So is that a blue bonnet?
Well, I don't know how to draw a blue bonnet.
Okay, okay. Show me your work. I really love your creativeness of keeping that flower near to the hummingbird. Very good. So now coming to the bird, your beak could have been a bit straight, right? It is out of the light, coming out of the line. So, and then also eye, cover the circle with black color. Completely color it with the black. Later, you give one point a white shade. Okay, and the feather. So increase the size of this feather, a tail, right? This one. You can increase a little bit, drag few lines, and yeah, this you can still add some dots over the stomach, lower part of the stomach. Okay, very nice. Good try, Venkata. Very good. Okay, well done. Swasti. Okay, very nice. The bird looks fine, really good. Very nice, Swasti. And you can darken the background a little bit. Okay, try to darken the background.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, very nice. Good work, Swasti. Very
Thank
good.
you.
A little bit thickness you can add for the beak. Who is next? Lakshit? Okay, Dikshit.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, Dikshit. So can you point out the mistakes in yours?
Ma'am, the tail.
Yeah, it has to come little more towards the left. You have started it from here itself, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's okay, no problem. And also the feathers. It is not that thick. Okay, it is a bit of narrow in size, not so broad.
Okay,
Hmm.
ma'am.
And the background. Main is the background here. So you have put some lines, random lines. It's not about lines. You take some larger size brush, 10 or more than 10, and then take color which is too watery when you paint a larger surface. So this blue has so much of water in it. I'll take a larger size brush and spread over the background. Randomly spread over the background, not adding lines. So if you are not adding too much of water to it, it will turn out to be lines, but not lines. I'm looking at the patches of colors. Okay, rest everything. The shape is has come out really nice. Dikshit, very good. Well done.
Thank
And Lakshit.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
Lakshit, bring it closer. You're still working on it. So your network is low, not able to see the
No,
video or hear you. Lakshit. Okay, if you are able
can
to
you see?
hear me, if you are able to hear me, just work on the shape of the bird
Now?
and outline the bird first. You can take pen and outline the bird. Later start painting. Okay, Lakshit.
I'm done.
Very nice. Very nice try, Lakshit. Good try. You can practice more, you'll be better at it. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Shall I end the meeting now?
ಒಂದು ಎರಡು ಬಾಳೆಯ ಹರದು
Mom, can you just turn your video on?
Okay, I'll replace spotlight. Okay. Are you able to see this now? You can take a picture if you're still working on it. Sana, what about you? Sana, best artist.
Ma'am, I'm not yet done. I'm still working, ma'am.
Fine, Sana. Work still working. Do you want to show or you keep working?
I did this much now, ma'am.
Bring it closer. Okay, here blend the green and orange or red color. Okay, blend the color. Use water and then blend. And also the wings. Look at the shape of the wing, the second wing. It is bent downwards, but here, did it bend downwards? No, right? It's facing top. It has to go like this.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And again, bring it closer. I'm not able to see. And one more thing, Sana. The whole body is slanting, not vertical. So this is vertical, this is horizontal, and this is diagonal. And in your painting, I can see it is vertical. But here it is bit of diagonal. From beak to the end of the tail, it is slanting, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're still working on it. You can still correct those mistakes. Okay, try to correct that.
Okay, ma'am.
Shall I end the meeting now? Okay, bye bye, Mridula. Bye bye, Sana. Bye,
Bye,
Lakshay.
ma'am. Bye. Bye.